I feel I'm in my prime. I feel more confident, more strong, and everything.
I honestly believe today nobody can beat Canelo Alvarez.
Talking about a big middleweight or an average size super middleweight fighting a heavyweight. This just shows you the fact that people favour Canelo Alvarez in that fight shows you how widely respected he is in boxing as one of, if not the greatest fighter of all time. Mike Coppin just said to me yesterday, you know, what does Canelo have to do to be recognised as the greatest Mexican fighter or one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time? And the answer is retire. He says he wants to fight for another 6 or 7 years. What we are witnessing here is probably the greatest fighter of all time before ours. And I'm going to sit in that seat on Saturday and I'm going to say thank you so much for allowing me not just to have a ticket for this fight, but to be promoting this fight and this great fighter. And more than that, a great individual. How do you have the hunger to fight when you have what he has?
So, does this hurt as much as your defeat to Floyd Mayweather?
¿Ah?
Does this hurt as much as your defeat to Floyd Mayweather?
¿Duele tanto como la derrota contra Floyd Mayweather?
No, la verdad es que me siento muy bien, con la frente en alto, di lo mejor de mí. Busco otra categoría, di lo mejor de mí, trato de buscar retos importantes para mi carrera fuera mi zona de confort y me siento muy bien, me siento orgulloso de lo que estoy haciendo y con la frente en alto.
So, no, you know, I don't feel that way. I feel like I can come out of this fight with my head held high because I gave the best of me in a different weight class. You know, I'm looking for challenges in my career that take me out of my comfort zone. So I'm proud and I'm feeling good.
So before now, Golovkin had been your biggest rival. Do you think this is the rivalry that will now define your career?
Could be.
Canelo, buenas noches. Oye, has platicado de lo que representó en su momento para que recompongas tu carrera la derrota con Mayweather. El estirar la liga tanto que tú aceptaste ir al peso del que los otros campeones semicompletos como Beterbiev y Kovalev evitaron por años, ¿te hace pensar que ya aquí es el límite o de plano quieres esa revancha y seguir buscando más en este peso?
No, mira, la verdad es que me siento muy bien. Yo, en lo personal, no pongo ninguna excusa. Creo que no perdí la pelea. Creo que me ganó 4, 5 rounds máximo. En los últimos rounds me fatigué un poco, pero obviamente me siento bien. Creo que hice las cosas como tenía que hacerlas y me siento bien, me siento bien. Vamos a ver, vamos a ir y pensar qué es lo que vamos a hacer, pero me siento bien, no creo que perdí la pelea como te digo. Perdí algunos rounds, en los últimos rounds me fatigué un poco, creo que por el peso quizás no me sentí al 100%.
So the question was, well, obviously you were lost to Floyd Mayweather, but looking at this fight that you took, that many people in this division that you fought at tonight didn't want anything to do with it. Can you tell us your feelings and what's next for you? So, and the answer from Canelo was, so personally, I'm feeling good. I'm not giving any excuses. I do feel that I won the fight. I think perhaps, you know, maybe I lost 4 or 5 rounds, but I definitely didn't lose the fight. I think I got a little bit tired towards the final rounds, but I felt good. So we'll see what's next. As I say, I don't feel like I lost the fight. Maybe some rounds. Maybe the weight was a slight issue and made me feel not 100% during the fight.
Y creo que estoy buscando, obviamente, las peleas difíciles, subir de peso, no estar en el peso que me siento cómodo, en las 168 libras, que es donde me siento cómodo. Por eso subo de peso para buscar más retos, que es lo que me gusta, y así es esto, ¿no? Así es esto, así es el boxeo. Y es lo que estoy buscando, ¿no? La grandeza.
Yes, so I think I'm always going up looking for difficult fights. I went up and looked for this difficult fight. Naturally, I feel good at 168, but I'm always up for challenging. You know, I'm always up for taking on new challenges. But that's boxing. Tonight, I was looking for greatness.
Saúl, ¿piensas que te hizo falta otra estrategia para esta pelea y cómo te sientes sobre la puntuación?
No, como te digo, creo que me ganó 4 o 5 rounds máximo. Al último round me sentí un poco cansado, quizás por el peso. Necesito ir a ver bien la pelea, obviamente, que es lo que tuve que hacer mejor, pero como te digo, creo que en lo personal perdí 4 o 5 rounds máximo.
So the question was, can you tell us a little bit about what you feel about the fight and you know the way it was scored? And Canelo's answer was, well, I think, as I said, 4 or 5 rounds, I feel like he won maximum. I felt a little bit fatigued going into those final rounds. Perhaps it was because of the weight, but you know, I feel, as I say, that he only won 4 or 5 rounds.
Canelo, buenas noches, Eddie también. Bueno, creo que lo comentaste ya, es de hombres, aceptas tu derrota, lo dijiste en el cuadrilátero, caray, felicidades por eso, ¿no? Porque mucha gente puede decir, no la perdí, pero ¿qué harías diferente para esta revancha en este mismo peso? Porque seguramente quieres la revancha. ¿Qué harías diferente para todo esto?
Pues no sé, como te digo, hay que ir, ver la pelea y qué es lo que podemos hacer nuevo.
Canelo, sorry. So the question was, in terms of tonight, when you lost the fight, you know, gave congratulations. I'd like to give you congratulations for the way you accepted defeat. But in terms of a rematch, what would you do different? And the answer from Canelo was, we'll have to see. I'll have to watch it back and work out what we would need to do differently.
Canelo, el reto sigue, dijiste, esto no se queda así, quisiera que profundizaras en esto. Esta sería la primera pregunta, por favor.
Así es, yo soy una persona muy competitiva. Y esto no se queda así. Me quedan muchos años por delante y voy a regresar muy fuerte. Créanme que voy a regresar muy fuerte.
So the first question was, you obviously mentioned in the ring afterwards that this will not stay this way. Doesn't end here. Can you tell me a little bit? Can you go into more depth about this? Yeah. So as I said, this doesn't end in this way. I think I'm a very competitive person. I've got many years ahead of me, and you know I'm going to come back stronger.
You can take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. Man, and I'm going to tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Fucking easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Floyd, we just recently saw Canelo win undisputed at 168. As a person the only person that's defeated him, what have you seen of yourself in Canelo as of the last couple of years after he fought you?
Same fighter. It's the same fighter. It's crazy that it was like Canelo in his prime. He'd have been a different fighter. When I fought him, he was in his prime. If you go back and look at me, I was the best when I was in my 20s. When I fought Canelo, I was almost 40 years old. You know, and a lot of times they're gonna keep asking me about the Canelo fight, and I already know when they write about it, they're gonna make it seem like, you know, the headline, they're gonna make it seem extremely bad, seem like a beef. I mean, it seems like it's a beef. It's not a beef. I like Canelo. I mean, I like his work. I take my hat off to Julio Cesar Chavez, a legendary champion. We seen what happened with him and Pernell Whitaker. You know, like I said before, with this scoring system, this been going on since a long time ago.
But Floyd,
You know, if I'm not mistaken, one of my easiest victories, that was Oscar. That was easy. He fought Oscar, right? So if he felt he fought Oscar, how old was he? How old was he?
He was like 37.
No, he wasn't 37 when he fought Oscar. He was a little bit younger.
Oh, yeah, 34.
Well, do your homework. Look it up. Look it up. I need y'all to look it up right now. Tell me what was his age, and then tell me what was my age when I fought Canelo. And then they say, they talk about these fighters. All these fighters gonna end up beating more world champions than Floyd Mayweather. You guys had 100 and some fights, 200 and some fights, 70, 80 fights. I'll still beat more world champions than all y'all. Eventually, y'all will beat more world champions if y'all keep giving these guys these cupcakes. You know, y'all got this guy fighting that cruiserweight, even though, I want to see the cruiserweight guy. Good. He fought Oscar, right? So if he felt he fought Oscar, how old was he? How old was he?
He was like 37.
No, he wasn't 37 when he fought Oscar. He was a little bit younger.
Oh, yeah, 34.
Well, do your homework. Look it up. Look it up. I need y'all to look it up right now. Tell me what was his age, and then tell me what was my age when I fought Canelo. And then they say, they talk about these fighters. All these fighters gonna end up beating more world champions than Floyd Mayweather. You guys had 100 and some fights, 200 and some fights, 70, 80 fights. I'll still beat more world champions than all y'all. Eventually, y'all will beat more world champions if y'all keep giving these guys these cupcakes. You know, y'all got this guy fighting that cruiserweight, even though, I want to see the cruiserweight guy. Good. I think we got Canelo right now, got 4, and then he's going up to cruiserweight. He's fighting a guy that's really not, the guy a little up and down, but it is what it is. I mean, if it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. He's going up. He's going up to cruise, and I'm not knocking him, but he's going up to cruiserweight. And that same guy he used to be at the Mayweather boxing gym. The guys was really getting the best of him in the Mayweather boxing gym. So if he's going up to quote unquote cruiserweight, I mean we got a lot. Benavidez can go and beat that same guy. He can beat that same guy at 168. So he's not doing nothing. You know, like I said before. Do I like this fight? Absolutely not. We want to see Benavidez. Let's make it happen. But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. And he was on. What? He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
Do you think he was clean the night he fought?
I'm saying, I don't know. I don't know. That's y'all. This Canelo. Come on, man. This kid it's a cakewalk. Kid, easy. I'm just tired that, a lot of times people send me these stories about, what the media write about. And, I mean, yeah, do racism go on within the sport of boxing? Absolutely. Floyd,
1 week from tonight, you're going to get named the Fighter of the Decade 2010 at the Boxing Writers Dinner in New York.
Which I really should be getting Fighter of the last 2 decades, and you know that.
I'll put in the word. But what does that mean to you? I mean, obviously you just talked about being remembered. You have been remembered as one of the greats of all time. When you take that award, what are you going to think of? What are you going to think of what you've accomplished in your career?
For the Fighter of the Decade, I'm the Fighter of the last century, honestly. And it's a reason why I'm the best fighter of the last 100 years. The credentials show it. And I went out there and showed it. What's better than going out there, being world champion for what, 20 years? Box office, I got the record. Pay-per-view, I got the record. I ain't want it. It's better to have 5 world titles than 4 at one particular time. So, I mean, it is what it is.